Last time we completed a ton of missions and unlocked coal, so today let's focus on base building. I'll use Hana to decorate the Atrox base and make it feel a little bit more like home. We'll have multiple designs to spread throughout the base, but here's just one example. For this I used a tall platform with some work lights and Hana, and on top we've got an LRD. This just makes it pop really good. So this is just one example of a base decoration, but we'll do a ton of them. If you don't know, Hana is the new thing that we got from the C.A.R.E.S initiative event. This is what it looks like, you've already seen it, and let me show you what we need to craft this. It requires 1 scrap and 1 organic. Of course we're not gonna do that manually because we'll want a ton of them, so that's why we'll have our farm over on this side. So we've got scrap from our scrap farm. This uses aluminum and turns it into rail junctions and then into scrap. We've got auto extractors down in the caves that get us all the aluminum we need, and then we've got 3 honeypots to get our organic. All of it gets fed into here and we'll get a ton of Hana. You can see the farm in action right here. Just take a look at how quick we can craft these, so we'll get a ton of them to decorate the entire Atrox base. Now we can just take them from here whenever we need some, and we can start preparing the platforms. We've also got a ton more lights on here, but let's get another tall platform here, and we can have multiple designs. We can throw some Hana on top there, and then we'll have a light next to it. Yeah, that looks good. And now once we plug it in, all the lights will light up. Yeah, that looks nice. And we can throw these throughout the base. I'll find really good spots for each of them. These will also help to light up the base because at night it's pretty hard to see in here. So these are also gonna be functional, they're not just for aesthetic purposes. Then let me also show you the big one we're gonna do in just a minute. We've got this huge platform with an extra large storage, and this is gonna take a lot of Hana and lights. But then we've also got one of these platforms. I just wanted to do something a little bit different here. I don't really know how I'm gonna decorate this, but we'll see in just a second. And I want to do a really cool design here. Let's see if this works. This farm is moving really quick. I really have to get these out of here. We are running out of storage space, but I'm almost done with this one, and I really hope this looks cool once we light it up. Okay, so this is done. I'll actually plug it in over on this side because we need a ton more light on here, and let's connect it straight into our scrap farm here and see if this looks any good when lit up. Alright, that's actually better than I expected. Look at that. And it looks good from a distance too. I like how there's so much light in here that you can barely see the Hana from a distance. But then when you get close, you start noticing them. That's nice. That's pretty good. We might move it around, maybe in the back there. But I actually like seeing it here, because this is the usual work area, so I'll be seeing it a lot there. But then we've also got this design. I was going for more of a natural fence, like, you know, those things where it's just bushes or whatever. Let me see how this looks with lights. Okay, let's plug it in. Alright, it definitely looks better with lights, so that's what we're gonna do. And as far as I can see, we're gonna need some more copper, but that's not a problem. This one I'll actually place on this other side next to the train station as well, sort of like this. And let me show you a cool trick. Now all we have to do is this, and we've got our thing there. We're gonna get more scrap once the cart comes with aluminum, and now we are throwing the scrap over here to our automated trade platform, which is gonna fill this canister up with malachite, which we will smelt into copper to get more lights. I know it sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty easy. By the way, I forgot to ask earlier, but I would really appreciate it if you click that like button. It helps me out a lot, so thank you for doing that. We are actually gonna use tall storages with some medium platforms, and those are gonna look really good. We can place 2 things in the back and 1 thing in the front using that. So I'm guessing we can do some really nice combinations between Hana and lights. Of course, we can also use other items in these things, but I'm thinking just the work lights is enough. We can use some floodlights, but those are way too bright. Let's actually get these around the base here. We can have one right there, and then this other one could be right here in between these platforms. That's great, and it actually looks really good. It gives a little bit of life to the base. And we also need to decorate our farm here with all of the plants. We're gonna need quite some lights in here, but the Hana also gives a natural look, so I really enjoy that. Alright, so we've got our medium platforms right here. Now let's go ahead and get some ceramic in for the tall storages. So there we go. In the meantime, let's fill some more of the tall platforms. Okay, so we've got 3 more of these right here. We've also crafted all of these ones, so we'll get to work on those in just a second. But now the snails need some food, so I'll just take some seeds from here really quick. Okay, now we can place these in here. One looks really good on this side, and then we can have another one in the back. There we go. And then this one could be right here maybe. Yeah, I guess that looks good. So I'll quickly throw it on here. And there we go. These actually look good from outside the base as well. When you come in, especially at night, you're gonna be able to see all these lights. But it's gonna be night in just a minute, so we'll be able to see that as well. Now let's throw some of these on here, and we can have the tall storages on them. We've got 8 of these platforms right here, so we'll use 8 work lights. And then on the back of each one we'll have 2 Hana, so that's gonna be 16. And this should also look really good and add a ton of light. I'm thinking of mainly using these in the farm area there in the back with all the plants, but let me get some more Hana for all of them. I've got all of them equipped with 2 Hana in the back. So now all I have to do is drag each of them all the way here. So I'll just show you when I've got all of them in place. I've set up 3 more of these platforms right here, and let's go ahead and craft some more because we need a ton more light in the base. You can already see here at night that we've got a ton of light. And let me actually show you how I set this up in the plant section. So we've got these around the edges, just for a little bit of natural lighting. We don't want it to be way too artificial. So we've got them all over on the sides, and they've got light in the front and Hana in the back. This adds a little bit more light to the area, and it's somehow camouflaged by the Hana in the back. It looks like the lights are trying to hide themselves, but this looks really nice on here. Now let's go ahead and set up these ones, because we'll also need some light back here. So let me set one up on this. We don't really have power right now, but if we did that, that's on. So we've got light over on this side as well. Let me place one in here maybe. Yeah, that looks good. Let's see how it looks from inside the base here. Yeah, much more light. We can actually see what platforms we've got here, and we can see what we've got on the storages. We couldn't really do that before. We've got another one here. We can place this in the back. I think it will look good right here. Yeah, so there we go. And then we've got 4 more. I'll go ahead and set these up as well. We've got the lights set up on there. Now let's get some Hana on it as well. We can have one of these right back here, so that we can see what we're doing on here, and also have some nature in the base. And then one more on this side. And then we've got 2 more, so let me see. Maybe behind our train station for the scrap farm. That looks good. And we can actually have one more over on this side for a little bit of extra lighting. There we go, and this should also light up the train tracks as you come into the train station. We've got multiple different decorations. We've got these tall platforms. We also have this one with an LRD on top of it. Then we've got this huge thing with a ton of stuff on it. Actually, I think this might be my favorite. And we also got these ones, which are sort of walls full of plants, but this looks really cool, especially up close. I like that. And then in the garden section, we've got this other type of platform where we used a tall storage, and this looks really good at night as well. So the whole base has gotten a facelift. It's much more natural, and we've got a ton more light in here. Keeping with the natural theme, next week we're gonna build a very special base. If you don't want to miss that, then make sure to save the Atrox series playlist, or you can also watch this other video next. Whichever one you choose, I'll see you there. Cheers, Astroneers!